How Brainrot AI characters are reshaping consumer perception of virtual beings. Virtual beings have traditionally served as interactive companions, influencers, or service agents, emphasizing realism, trust, and empathy. In contrast, Brainrot AI characters draw from a different lineage, one rooted in internet meme culture and overstimulated digital environments. The term brainrot originally described the mental fatigue caused by endless streams of chaotic online content, and it has evolved into an aesthetic that embraces visual and narrative incoherence. These characters challenge established norms of digital identity and suggest new creative pathways for AI-generated personas. Defined by their fragmented design, glitch aesthetics, and disjointed behaviors, Brainrot AI characters often evoke unease through stillness, repetition, or uncanny juxtapositions. They typically appear in short-form media, emphasizing disruption over continuity. Rather than eliciting empathy, they provoke visceral reactions, laughter, discomfort, or confusion, that subvert expectations of how a digital being should behave. Their appeal lies not in narrative development or interactivity but in the raw impact of their presence, often amplified by deliberate audio-visual misalignment and surreal design choices. Consumers exposed to these characters may undergo subtle psychological shifts, developing increased tolerance for ambiguity and detachment in digital interactions. Where virtual beings once aimed to foster trust and emotional connection, these new entities encourage ironic distance and reflexive skepticism. As audiences adapt to digital personas that are intentionally incoherent or absurd, their expectations for future virtual interactions may diversify, making room for a broader range of emotional responses that includes discomfort, fascination, and morbid curiosity. The market for virtual beings is likely to fragment as a result, with emotionally intelligent digital humans continuing to serve roles in education, therapy, and branding, while a separate space opens for experimental, brainrot-inspired characters that prioritize aesthetic disruption and meme-driven virality. Consumer behavior may shift toward shorter, more episodic engagements, valuing novelty and shock over long-term interaction. For companies and creators, this means reassessing product design, marketing strategies, and platform alignment to reflect the diverging purposes virtual beings now serve. Developers working at the intersection of AI and digital character design may find opportunities in hybrid approaches that incorporate brainrot sensibilities without sacrificing usability or function. Brands will need to evaluate whether incorporating surreal or unsettling elements supports or undermines their message, especially in markets that value consistency and emotional clarity. At the same time, psychologists and digital ethicists may find fertile ground in studying the long-term cognitive and emotional effects of interacting with digital beings that are designed to confuse or unsettle rather than reassure. Brainrot AI characters signal a shift in the cultural function of virtual beings, expanding their role beyond companionship or branding into new domains of artistic experimentation and emotional disruption. They challenge the assumption that digital personas must always be coherent, likable, or functional, introducing new emotional registers into consumer interaction. As this aesthetic continues to influence content creation and user expectations, virtual being developers must grapple with a broader, more fragmented emotional landscape shaped by irony, ambiguity, and unease.